What's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have this daytime smoky eye that I created because I had to go to my own birthday dinner. So it wasn't dinner, it was more like brunch, or I don't know, it was a little too early to be dinner, but it was a little too late to be lunch. I don't know what you call it. Anyways, you guys, if you're interested in knowing how I achieved this makeup look, then please keep on watching. Hey guys, to get started, I'm going to use a primer, and today I'm using this one from Smashbox, and I'm just going to focus this right on the T-zone area because this primer helps with the appearance of pores, and that's where I feel that I have them the most. Now I'm just going to use my L'Oreal Infallible in the shade 104, and yes, I'm cutting this foundation and scraping the last drop of foundation because I love this foundation. It's not cheap, but it's one of my favorites, and I don't want to waste any product whatsoever. So I'm just going to transfer the foundation with a small brush onto my face, and then I'll just blend it out with a damp beauty blender. For concealer today, I'll be using the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this one's in the shade Porcelain, and I'm just going to apply that on the areas that I need more coverage or that I need to highlight, which are underneath the eyes, the eyelids, forehead, chin, smile lines, and the jawline. And I apply this on the eyes just to cover any discoloration and the veins, and this also serves me as an eyeshadow base. Once I do that, I'm just going to blend everything out with my damp beauty blender. To set my makeup in place, I'll be using the Studio Fix powder from MAC in the shade NC15, and with a big fluffy brush, I'm just going to dab a little bit onto my skin just so that my makeup lasts longer. Now using this mineral foundation from BDAY Cosmetics, this one is in the shade Panna Cotta. Oh my gosh, you guys, these are the best foundations, powder, anything that I've used from BDAY Cosmetics is just so amazing. And no, this is not sponsored. I simply truly love their products. They're really amazing, and honestly, a little bit goes a long way. All I'm gonna do with this powder foundation, I'm just going to apply that with a dry beauty blender on the areas that I want to highlight, which are basically the areas that I applied the concealer earlier. And as you can see, it does make a huge difference applying the powder with a dry beauty blender. Now I'll be using another foundation, but this one's in the shade Cafe Bonbon, and this is in the shade MF3M. And I ordered this one way too dark, so I'm just going to use it as a powder bronzer. And as you can see, it's a perfect shade for bronzing the face. Honestly, this is like the perfect shade for me because I usually go overboard with the bronzers. So I am trying to use bronzers that are not as dark so I don't go overboard. But anyways, I'm just going to start warming up the face. I'm not going to contour. I'm just simply bringing back some warmth and structure and shadows back onto the skin, since the powders make our face look flat and completely erase our definitions. So I'm just going to apply this powder on the hollows of the cheeks, the sides of the forehead, and on the jawline. So now I'm just going to blend everything out with a clean blending brush just to make sure that there are no harsh lines and that everything's nicely blended. And ta-da! We're going to be using another BDAY Cosmetics blush, and like I said, it's not a sponsored, I just love the products, and this one is in the shade Raspberry Smoothie. It is stunning. I'm just going to use the little bit that's left over on the cap, and to be honest, that little bit was so much still. So once I apply that on the apples of the cheeks just for a little bit of color, I had to go back in with my clean blending brush to make sure that everything's nicely blended because the pigmentation in these blushes are surreal. I have to always blend some more. Now I'm just going to be using MAC Fix Plus, and I'm just going to apply that all over the face, and just before it dries, I'll be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit, and this one is in collaboration with Nicole Guerrero, and I'm just going to be using Forever Lit and Glow Getter. I'm just going to mix the highlights, and then I'm just going to apply that on the usual areas, which are the highest point of the cheeks, on the chin, Cupid's bow, and on the forehead a little bit, and I'm also going to apply that a little dot on the center of my nose and a little line on the bridge of my nose, and I do this step with a smaller, denser brush just because I want the application to be more precise. And as you can see, you guys, this kit is incredible. It's super pigmented. It was worth every single penny. It's become one of my favorite glow kits ever. I use it all the time. And these highlighters are so pigmented that I also had to go back and just blend a little extra just to make sure that there are no harsh lines. Now using this contour kit from Hot Mess, this one is the Tayla Blue. I'm just going to take all the bottom bronzers and I'm just going to start contouring my nose. I'll be doing a quick nose contour because I've included it in every single tutorial. All I do are 2 parallel lines on the sides of my nose, and then I blend them out with a Smashbox small brush, and then I blend out some more with the tips of my fingers. Now I'll be using this Smoke Screen palette from Sigma. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is gorgeous. I'll be using this mauve shade right in the center. They have names, but I really don't remember. So I'm just gonna apply that on the crease of my eye, and this is going to be my transition shade. Now I'll be taking this darker brown shade and I'm just going to apply that on the crease on top of the mauve shade that we just applied, and honestly, just a little bit will go a long way. These are very pigmented. I really loved working with these eyeshadows. Going back in with this darker brown eyeshadow and a smaller blending brush, I'm just going to focus this right on the V of the eye, just creating more depth on that V because I want the V to be more darker than the rest of the lid. Now going back in with this black matte eyeshadow, I'm just going to focus this again with an even smaller blending brush on the corner of the eye. I used a smaller brush just because I want the application to be more precise, and this way I have all the control on where that eyeshadow will go. Going back in with the same concealer, I'm just going to clean up the lid area, but I'm gonna do something different. Instead of cutting the crease like cat eye style, I'm gonna do like a semicircle. I don't really know how to explain this, but you guys will see it at the end. So once I finish cutting the crease, I'm just going to take this gold eyeshadow. It's a little baked, super beautiful, one of my favorite in the whole palette. And I'm just going to apply that all over the areas that I apply the concealer with my fingers. And then I'll just apply that with a brush just so I have a more precise and clean application. Now with an eyeliner brush and the same black eyeshadow, I'll be making a very harsh cut line and just making sure that that cut that I created with the concealer is very visible on the darker side of the makeup look. Now I'll be using Forever Lit and Glow Getter once again, and I'm just going to apply that on the highest point of my eyebrow. As you guys can see, it really highlights it and it just brings this whole look together. And then I'm going to be applying that on the tear duct of my eye, and I love doing this with the tips of my fingers. Using the NYC liquid eyeliner, it is my favorite one ever. I'm just going to do a subtle and thin wing. I try to keep it as thin as possible just because I don't want a thick wing that it's going to cover all the hard work we did in creating this semi-circle cut crease type look. Now I'm just going to apply some mascara. This one is the Maybelline Falsies Volume Express, and I'll just apply that on my upper lashes. For lashes today, I'll be using the Ardell lashes in the style 250. These are the double ups. Honestly, one of my favorite ones. The 250 and the 251s are the best styles in my opinion. Well, they're my favorite ones. Anyways, I'm just going to apply them as close to my lashes as possible. And then what I do like to do is just push the falsies with the real lashes just so that they blend better. Taking this Rimmel Exaggerate nude eyeliner, I'm just going to apply that on my bottom waterline. And then I'm just going to apply some mascara, and this will conclude this eye look. We're ready to go flying away with our lashes. Bye-bye! For lipstick today, I'll be using this one from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this one is in the shade Pure Hollywood. And I'm just going to apply that all over the lips. And that will conclude this makeup look. I hope you liked it. So this is it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I am officially 23 years old. I don't feel different. I don't feel older. I feel the same. Yeah, I really have nothing else to say. I hope you liked it, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and as always, I'll see you in my next tutorial very soon. Bye-bye!